Lights.
Camera.
Action.
Hello everyone and welcome to a special episode of Million Dollar Media. I am your host Max Kellerhalls, and today we are going to review Don't Worry Darling, or I should say I am going to review, and what we're basically doing here today is we're going to have everybody here ask me questions about what I thought about it while I basically rant about this movie. Now, Don't Worry Darling is a movie about Florence Pugh, who plays a housewife in this picture-perfect 50s aesthetic town called Victory. Her husband, played by Harry Styles, they live a really overly perfect life to a point, and in that traditional nuclear family kind of way, minus the children and everything like that. But slowly but surely, smaller and smaller things start to occur, weird occurrences start happening, this perfect life isn't as what it seems, and alright, now, I'm going to start off with the very few positives that I have. I think the acting in this movie, for the most part, we'll get to that later, is really good. Florence Pugh, fucking incredible. Chris Pine, great villain. I thought Olivia Wilde was fine in the role that she gave herself, because this movie is directed by Olivia Wilde. I really liked, I forgot his name, but he plays Jonah Ryan on Veep. He plays a really interesting character for this movie. Nick Kroll, for the little bit that he's really in this, he's fine. We'll get into another actor later, but he's probably my one problem with this movie. What else? Oh, Olivia Wilde's direction, I like. I felt like there's certain scenes in this movie that are directed really well. I like the style that she goes for. And also, one thing that I really appreciate about this movie that I don't see a lot of films get right is portraying house parties. Like, the way that this movie does it, I felt was really genuine in that, like, that feeling of, like, certain clicks go off to certain areas of the room, the sound of the room and everything like that. I thought that was directed really well, and I don't see a lot of movies getting that idea right. So I thought, wow, okay, I kind of like that. That was nice to see and, like, experience, because I just don't think a lot of movies get it right. What else? I thought the soundtrack was nice. I mean, the soundtrack per se, not the score, because I think the score is a bit goofy, in my opinion, because all it is just women breathing, going, huh, 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 huh.
Like every time they breathe?
No, that's just the soundtrack.
Oh, that's
the score
weird.
Throughout the movie.
Oh.
So, like, you'll just hear, huh, 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 throughout the movie, and I'm like,
Ew.
what the fuck is going on? I guess it kind of leads to,
I got the
like...
score right here. I'm going to listen to
No,
it.
no, we don't want to get copyrighted. Okay, but yeah, it's a weird score. Part of it, I'm like, okay, I appreciate the effort of, like, giving this weird feeling of, like, what's going on here? However, I just wasn't a big fan of it. I just thought it kind of took me out, and there's some moments where I was kind of laughing because, again, all you hear is, huh, huh, huh,
Yeah.
huh.
They're, like, trying to make it horror, but it's doing...
Not horror,
poorly.
per se. It's more thriller.
That sounds like something you'd hear in the background of, like, a horror movie,
I
though.
know, but, like, the movie's not that violent. It's just... There's just... because there's certain moments with kills,
Yeah.
I think that's fair to say without spoiling, that are not overly bloody,
Oh, no.
but they're, like, the right amount, but it's nothing that no new kill that's going to be like, oh, that's going to stick with me for a while.
Oh.
Nothing like that, where it's just so... Basically, anytime there's a death in this movie, I'm just like, oh, okay. Like,
Yeah.
they're gone.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
They're
alright.
irrelevant.
One more positive I have, I appreciate what the movie is trying to say. And I want to make that very clear. I don't want to be another white guy talking about, women bad, movie bad kind of thing. That's not what I'm trying to go at here. What I'm trying to say is I like the message about traditional gender roles, toxic masculinity, this overabundance of, like patriarchy and all that kind of thing. I think that is all elements and themes that should be talked about and addressed. And I like when the movie does kind of talk about that. However, the context they're using to talk about those things is what I have a problem with, not the message. Whatever the movie was going for, I respect. I just wish they had more time to go on to some other things. Now, I'm going to go into my negatives. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of the story, and that kind of just broke the movie for me. If they should have just called this movie Weird Occurrences, the movie. Because, like, throughout this entire movie, there's just, like, it's just scenes of, like, well, that was weird. Huh, that was weird. Huh,
What?
that was weird.
Like no explanation why it was weird.
Yeah,
until
there's
the end.
Yeah, until the end, and then when you like go back, think about everything, like it makes no sense to me.
Oh.
There's a scene in the trailer that I could kind of spoil about like she opens up a carton of eggs and she cracks them, and there's nothing in the eggs.
Yeah.
When you find out what the movie is about, that makes no fucking sense.
What?
It makes no sense.
It's just there for like the creep factor. And,
I'll
like,
also say this: if you watch the trailer, you can guess what the twist is.
Yeah.
And for me, 20 minutes into the movie, I was like, there's one clue that they reveal, called it. So for the entire rest of the movie, I was just like, wait, how the fuck was I right about that?
Oh.
Like, it can't be that simple. It was that simple.
Hmm.
And so it just made everything just kind of pointless for me, because I was like, and it made me question everything about, like, and not in a good way.
Yeah.
Like a twist should do. But, like, this twist was, like, you've seen it before. If I could give a hint to what the twist is, there's a particular anime that uses this prompt. I'm not going to say, because if I say it, it's going to ruin the whole thing. Yeah, so when I was like, oh my god, it's that, but done shittier.
Oh no!
There's just a lot of, like, leaps in logic this movie's asking you to do.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't. The movie just wasn't winning me over that much. But yeah, I'll also say this: the ending sucks.
Really?
It has one of those endings that I hate, where they just do an abrupt ending for no reason other than to just have an abrupt ending. Because it's like it literally felt like the writer wrote themselves into a corner, and then rather than like try to write it out of it, they were like, "Oh, I'm done."
Bruh.
And it's just like, you can figure out what happens after that. I'm like, no, I don't want to. Like, this movie is trying to ask me to leap so many times. And for this, I was just like, no, I'm done. I don't want to. Like, there's no point. Like, I'm just pissed. That's the thing. Like, there's so many good things about this movie, but it's not great. And there's so many bad things about this movie, but it's not so bad it's good. So it's just in this boring middle of, like...
Yeah, that was a mediocre movie.
Yeah, like, it's not fun for anyone. But, like, if you're looking for, like, any, like, raunchiness or anything like that from this movie, you don't really get it. Like, the most you get is a scene of Harry Styles going down on Florence Pugh. But, like, it goes on for way too long.
Ew.
I get what they were trying to do about, like, oh... Their life is so full of so much pleasure, so this is how they're portraying it. But after a while, like, I think they just should have, like, cut a bit early.
Like, we get the gist.
Yeah,
like,
because I'm, like, sitting in a theater with, like, fucking, like, 3 generations of women behind me. And, like, I'm the only dude in this theater. And I'm just basically like, yeah. All right.
Mm-hmm. I think let's
we,
move past this.
Like, yeah. She's having a really good time. I'm not, but, like, can we, like, move on? But that's pretty much it. Oh, one more thing. A lot of people wanted me to review this because Harry Styles is in this movie. And I'll say this. He's not bad, but he was totally miscast. And we'll get into why I think who they should have cast in a bit. But, like, he is not right for this movie in that it's not a role that fits him. Because there's certain moments where they require him to, like, really be dramatic, and it comes off as a bit, like, overacting. The subtle moments, I think he plays really well. I thought that was good, where it was like, oh, wow, I like that. I think he does really well there. But when your scene partner is Florence Pugh, you can really tell who is the better actor.
You can't beat Florence Pugh.
You can't, she's incredible in this movie. I love just everything about that character. I don't know. I just can't see these are the two. Like, this is the husband and wife that we have to follow. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much my review of the movie. But I know a lot of people want me to talk about the behind the scenes and how it may affect the way I look at the movie. So we're just going to basically go through a brief history about what the hell happened to this movie. So I believe in early 2020, maybe 2021, Olivia Wilde, the director, was announced to make this movie as her second big directorial movie. She cast Florence Pugh, and instead of Harry Styles, it was going to be Shia LaBeouf. However, I think there's many reasons why he left, but the two that I know of was the sexual assault allegations, and also from what he says, it's the scheduling. However, how they released it was that he was fired from set because he was being rude to Florence Pugh. That was not true. Mm-hmm. From what I heard, Florence Pugh just didn't want him as a scene partner because of the allegations, and seeing that this movie does deal with intimacy, that would be a big problem. So I totally understand her logic on that, of just like, hey, I don't feel comfortable with my scene partner in doing that. So that makes total sense. However, I don't like the idea of, like, the director then coming out and basically saying, like, we have a zero asshole policy when on set he didn't do anything wrong.
Well, and that's just where the drama started, because after that happened, like, Olivia Wilde didn't want Florence Pugh, or didn't want Shia LaBeouf to leave the set. So she tried to get Florence Pugh to, like, agree to do scenes with him, even though she was super uncomfortable with that. Mm-hmm. And so when Florence Pugh didn't agree to do the scenes with Shia, there was, like, a tape that was released, like, months ago, where it's Olivia Wilde driving in her car, talking to Shia. Like,
Shia released that. He released that to either The Hollywood Reporter or Variety. He released basically his receipts.
And she's like,
texts and everything like that.
Olivia's basically saying, like, I really want to make this work, and I think that if we just talk to Miss Flo, like, she didn't say this, but basically along the lines, so, like, she needs to stop being picky and, like, comply to what we want. And everyone was like, bro, no way.
Yep.
So, and then, I mean, there's just so much drama with Olivia Wilde and Harry Styles that it's insane.
That's the next bit of thing. It then came out that Olivia Wilde was having an affair with Harry Styles on set, which was also leading to many other problems, because Harry Styles came in to replace Shia. Seeing the movie, it does make that one scene that I talked about earlier a bit uncomfortable because you know that this actor is sleeping with the director. Ugh. That just bothered me a bit. Otherwise, there's not really anything else, because the character in the movies, he's not made to be, like, a good guy, really. It's just in that one scene I was like, this feels a bit weird knowing what's going on in real life. And also, that affair led to a divorce with her husband, Jason Sudeikis, which led to her divorce papers being given to her while she was on stage promoting this movie.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so at CinemaCon, Olivia Wilde was on stage talking about this movie, and right before she was about to talk, there's a guy in the front row who just goes up and gives her papers, and it's her divorce papers.
Oh my god.
Now, Jason's...
custody papers.
And custody papers, yeah.
For their kids.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's another thing.
Like, heart-wrenching.
Yeah. To be fair, Jason Sudeikis didn't know that the guy was going to do that. He was just like, hey, I need someone to give these papers.
Yikes.
But no, that shitty move on the guy who did the divorce papers.
Oh, she was probably stunned.
Oh, yeah. You could tell, like, she just had to, like, really play that off quick on stage and talk about her movie when she's, like, fuming.
Good thing she's an actress.
Yeah, she's a good actress. Or what else? There's so much that this movie has in drama.
Yeah. Oh, and then the Venice Film Festival.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well... Yeah, months go by, the movie's about to be released, reviews are starting to come in about, like, movies...
It being mid.
It's being alright, yeah. But originally, like, Florence Pugh was not going to do press for this movie, and she never stated why, and she still hasn't to the time we were recording this.
There was actually something that was released probably a month ago, because people were wondering, like, Florence Pugh always promotes, like, all of her films, like she did for Midsommar, for Little Women, and for, like...
Black Widow.
Yeah, countless others, but she hadn't released anything regarding Don't Worry, Darling. And so people were confused, and then someone who was on the set, like, a behind-the-scenes person, released something that said that after the thing went down with Shia, Olivia Wilde and Florence Pugh got in, like, a screaming match.
Oh, yeah, that's
on
what
set.
I heard. That's what I heard too. Like, there was something going on with, like,
Yeah.
the main actor and the director not getting along with each other. Also, apparently, and I don't think this is true because I don't see any director doing this, Olivia Wilde would go out and do a lot of things with Harry Styles.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, she would go to weddings with him, like, big events. During COVID, while on set, they have many different COVID precautions so that no one gets sick.
Yeah.
And then she would just basically not be on set for most days, so Florence Pugh would have to step up and direct.
Damn. That's rough. I didn't know that.
I heard that. I don't believe it. Some have said, like, have come out and said that is not true.
Oh.
But it is something that I believe that we should talk about, in that it is a possibility, because there were pictures that were released of Olivia and Harry out.
I would believe that.
I feel like I'm talking about, like, a true crime podcast now.
I'd believe it if, like, Florence Pugh had to learn how to direct herself, because Olivia didn't want to work with her, but not direct everyone else.
No. Like, most of the scenes in this movie, it's just her. Mm-hmm. So I can totally see her, like, hey, DP, can you just, like, I just want you to do this. Like, just catch me doing this, and I'll act through the scene. I've read the script. I can totally buy that. Here's the thing. No one has, like, ultra confirmed yet. Florence Pugh only has to just come out and say, that is false, or that is true. And she has done neither.
Well, and as a result of that screaming match that they had, that's what made, like, Olivia Wilde and Florence Pugh made an agreement where it was, like, as long as Florence Pugh doesn't leave the set, and as long as she doesn't quit the movie, she doesn't have to promote it. Mm-hmm. So, I think that's what started that. But back to the Venice Film Festival. Oh,
there's the thing of, like, originally she wasn't going to go because of the whole she's not promoting thing. Mm-hmm. So they made a big press release where they had all the press talking about the movie, asking questions.
Assuming she wasn't going to be there.
Well, I don't think she showed up for that.
No, she showed up the next day.
But she showed up the next day for the movie premiere at the Venice Film Festival.
Looking good, too. Yes. Like, on fire, girl.
I would have to agree. You could also see pictures like Chris Pine having to be like...
It's like, holy shit.
Like, standing between them two, like, hey, like, ladies. Like, and then...
Harry Styles spit on Chris Pine.
I was also thinking of that interview where Harry Styles was like, this movie feels like I was actually making a movie and Chris...
You know, something about this movie is just that the movie just feels like a movie. And Chris Pine is like, are you fucking serious right now, bro?
Like, dude.
The spitting thing, like, to this day, I don't know.
They denied it. It's fake. Like, Chris Pine and Harry Styles were like, guys, settle down. This didn't happen. Like, what the hell?
That look of, like, he has, where he, like, looks down and, like, this motherfucker.
Yeah, because at first I was like, oh, maybe, like, Harry Styles did spit on him. And then like, Chris Pine's reaction, I was like, that looks too good not to be real.
He looked like he was, like, he had to, like, put on a face of, like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of this kid once we get off stage.
But
yeah, so far
Chris Pine did deny it.
Yeah, so. They both denied it.
Social media people did.
Yeah, their social media managers are like, no, that did not happen. Mm-hmm. And then when the reviews came out about the movie, honestly, if this movie was actually, like, good, and, like great even, no one would care about the drama.
Yeah.
However, in my opinion, too, it's not great. Mm-hmm. It just fuels that drama of, like, this is why it's not good. But in reality, in my opinion, I know we just talked about the drama for a long period of time. I just think the faults of the movie is that the pre-production and the script is not good. And all this drama maybe didn't help it. But, like, I believe every actor who was not involved in all this bullshit was trying to give the best performance they could, including the director, depending on what story you hear. I just think that the product it didn't turn out good.
Yeah.
And that's ultimately disappointing for me. But
I think it's disappointing for a lot of people. I mean, this movie was promoted for months and months.
It was. Like, Warner Brothers was like, this is our possible, like, new Get Out or Oscar contender. Like, we have many big stars attached to this. It's right around the awards season, or, like, we're getting into awards season with all these movies that are, like, Oscar-worthy. And I totally see why they were banking on this, and honestly, like, really sad because, like, I think Olivia Wilde is a great director, and I want to see her do more, especially after Booksmart, her directorial debut. I just think that she either needs to really start working on her scripts more or pick better scripts. Great concept on paper, horrible execution. Or, like, horrible, like...
End product
of, like... I shouldn't say horrible, because if it was horrible, then it'd be, like, worth to watch. It's just, the problem is, you've seen this movie many times before.
Mm-hmm.
Either and shorter, too, because this movie's about 2 hours long.
Oh.
And especially when, like, 20 minutes in, I've technically already gotten what the movie is.
Yeah.
What's the point?
Then it just makes the rest of the movie, you're like, ugh, I don't want to be here anymore because I already know what it is.
Yeah. All this other stuff is kind of just a bunch of red herrings.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, I was coming up with better ideas in my head as the movie was going on because of what they were trying to imply. I was like, oh, that'd be cool if it was this.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you find out what it is, it's like...
Oh, it's that?
Oh, that's kind of lame.
Yeah.
Like, I wish it was something better.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's all I gotta say. Do any of you have any questions about this movie? Like, is there anything you want to, like, ask me, like, what my opinion was?
I feel like the only reason people even went to see it was because of the drama.
And
Harry Styles. So, like...
I think that's the only reason why people wanted me to review this.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, there's not much to talk about other than the drama.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's kind of the sad thing, where it's just like...
Well, that's why I wanted you to go see the movie, because I didn't want to see the movie. I was like,
I'll
just send Max to go see the movie to see if this movie's actually worth seeing.
Oh my god.
Turns out it isn't.
It isn't, so I just wasted like a good $11.06 on a fucking movie. I'll say this, I like going out there to support original films, because like even though I'm a big Marvel and DC fan, I do like to go out there and see like something different and like something new, something quote unquote weird maybe. And problem is, sometimes you get disappointed by those original films. I wish the best of luck to whatever happens to Olivia Wilde, Florence Pugh, or anybody who is involved in this movie. I wish them the best of luck.
Yeah.
If this movie were to get any possible, like, Oscar-ish thing, is at least a nomination for Florence Pugh.
I would say that, or a nomination for, like, the set and costuming.
Yeah. I'll give you that, too.
Yeah,
that's fair. Yeah, that's it. I really don't have much else to say. This was just a special episode that many people wanted me to review and have me sit through. Do any of you want to plug anything of your own?
Listen to Best Worst Stories. It's another Wave Radio podcast hosted by me and Lily Lewis. It's funny, and I talk about a lot of embarrassing things I've done. So, if you want to know my deepest, darkest secrets, give it a listen.
All right. I've been Max Keller-Halls, and if you're listening to this on Wave Radio, please keep listening to our other shows like Ava's show here. We also have Today in History with Katie Leyendecker, and other shows possibly to come. If you're listening to this on my YouTube channel, can you please like, subscribe, and share this video around? If you're listening to this on Spotify, thank you. Help supports the channel. I hope you all have a good day.